What is going on, Ram fam? So you know what it is. We got the watchful eye of the eagle. That's Big Mama coming at you. So I previously had made 2 recordings about parents advocating for your kids and what is the proper way of doing so. I'm going to start this video off and let you know that I'm going to have my son with me, and he's going to share with you his perspective on what is the right way to do such matters, right? So, recap, there was 2 videos, and I spoke about making sure that when you go up to the school, how you come up there, making sure that you have a good relationship with the teachers, the principals. That's step 1. And then 2, when you do actually interact with the teachers and all, that you come up there, you're nice and calm, that you do not come up there acting like a fool, that you don't automatically assume that your child is wrong, do not punish your child, that you listen to your child. That's how you should do things. Don't automatically punish your child and things of that nature, right? Then that you create a plan with the school, while also ensuring that once all of that is done, that you create a plan with the school on what are the next steps, that you hold them accountable for what they may not have done or even what they did do. So I'm going to pull the eagle down. I mean, the owl, the watchful owl, right? So that you can hear from my children so that they can tell you the child's perspective on what they believe is the best way to do so. And then I want to respond to a video that my oldest son did on some things that has happened that, of course, a mother would want to respond to and has responded to, um, and how you can take better actions. As soon as is my baby boy, come on into the screen. So, son, what do you think is step 1 on how parents should be advocating for their children? And then if there's any stories that you would like to share or experiences that may have happened to you, but the floor is yours. What do you think is the best way? Come on a little bit closer. Come on in here. What do you think is the best way for parents to advocate for their children?
Well, there are different like situations where you have to do like, different things to make sure stuff is being done correctly. Uh, for example, if your child fills a class, but they didn't, like, they were working hard, so your teacher advocating for your children. That's the right.
Yeah, so let's just start with what grade are you in? So we can take your time. What grade are you in?
7th.
You're in the 7th grade. Okay. And so advocating for you or fellow classmates, if something were to happen at school, what do you think parents should do when they want to come in and assist you with something that has happened?
Well, if people get into situations like that, I think the parents might want to like figure out the entire story, either asking the person that was mainly a part of it, or ask the other people that were involved in it, such as their friends or just other people that were there that was watching what happened.
So how do we do that?
But for example, if there's a fight, you want to ask your children like to the max, like keep asking them to make sure they don't come, so that you make sure you don't come onto the school saying, "Oh, my child did this," when that did not happen at all, or it wasn't done like that. Because details matter, and details have to be correct in order for someone to receive, um, in order for someone to receive the proper punishment, or maybe not a punishment at all, because of the details. If you ask someone and you're engaged, this is for parents. If you're like all the way engaged and you're focused on asking questions, then you don't have to punish your child for stuff that they probably did not do or stuff that they did do correctly.
So how does this look? So so we get a phone call from the school, right? That said, since you bringing up fighting, so we get a phone call that says, you got into a fight. What should this questioning look like? This investigation?
Um,
Should it just be why were you fighting today?
you could start off with simple questions, but you had to look at them while they're answering them to make sure they're actually being honest. 'Cause and some people you can see if they're lying or not. So we have to keep it. If you're absolutely sure that they did nothing wrong, then it's time to ask authority, administration.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not sure, not completely sure that they're being honest with you, then that's when you keep asking questions.
Okay.
Just keep asking.
So parents are supposed to know when their kids are telling them the truth. So
Mm-hmm.
so you're saying kids be lying? You're admitting kids be lying to their parents?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So why would kids be lying to their parents?
To get out of trouble.
Hmm. Okay. So in your scenario, we're talking about fighting. So we done got this phone call that says that you were fighting in your scenario. Are you being suspended, or are they just letting us know what's going on in this scenario?
Well, they'll either alert you that they'll either alert you that they've been fighting and they're going to like do normal punishments, like your child is like not having recess or something, or they're having to sit with the teacher for the rest of the day, or they'll call you to alert you of something of that same scenario, but the punishment's going to be like worse, like suspension, expulsion. But they're not always going to call you about it being like, well, they're not always gonna call you to be that. It's gonna be they're gonna punish your child. They're probably gonna help your child because calling about fighting, it can either mean one thing, that either your child's being punished or your child's going or your child's being brought into a medical situation. So I forgot the rest of what I'm gonna say.
It's okay. So in yours, let's just say in your scenario, the child is being suspended. So we're going to go back to the parent is asking their child about the fight. So, all right. So the question is, why were you fighting today? Or tell me what happened. And now you're admitting that that children do be lying to their parents to get out of trouble. So what else? How should this conversation look? Especially because the point of this conversation is the parent wants to help their child stay out of trouble with the school while yet holding the school accountable, right? And particularly because my video was about ensuring that I'm holding the school accountable, because feeling like the school did not do a very good investigation. So what should this conversation look like? Because I'm feeling like the school didn't investigate the situation very well.
This conversation is between the parent and the child.
Yes. First.
Okay, so first, before like asking why are you in trouble? Why are you fighting? Don't immediately ask about the negative stuff. Ask, always ask, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Like in every way before you start trying to figure out what happened, because they're probably not okay. And if they're not okay, then they might not answer your questions correctly, which can lead to you falsely punishing them. But yeah, first ask if they're okay, and then try to ask what happened, and then once you get like all the stuff that happened, then you want to ask them if they can like tell a story of what.
Very good. Are you okay? Mm-hmm. Now, what does that mean? Are you okay? Because if I'm physically looking at you and I see that, that you're physically okay, you have no cuts and bruises. So what does that question mean? Are you okay?
It's not always about what you like. If you're physically strong, because you might be emotionally or mentally like broken after something that happened.
Okay. Very good tip, parent. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Continue. So you
And so
said,
back to the
mm-hmm.
like modeling the conversation. If you like, if you want your child to not get in trouble, you should probably then that's probably when you want to go to the school after, so you can talk to them about what happened or ask them if they know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way, this is a scenario if they actually get disciplinary action as a suspension or expulsion, even though they might not let you come back to the school if it's expulsion. But suspension, then you could probably come to the school after you've gotten the full story, full honest story, and you might want to have both parents there. Speak only if you have both parents, because it's yeah, have as many people or witnesses, or like in situations of fights. That's what I was saying about fights. Then you can go talk to administration about stuff, so you can like really get down to the bottom of what happened.
Okay. So we know that administration. So you said asking the as many kids as possible who were involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that when we try to talk to administration, they are going to say that they cannot reveal the names of other students. So if you can advise other parents, how can they go about doing this? Because administration is not going to reveal this. This is confidential information. And they're going to tell us, I cannot confirm whether student such and such was involved or not. I don't know what your child told you, but I can't tell you what happened with such and such. That's confidential information.
They're probably not going to tell you who's involved in it, but all you can do, you can just ask or show the cameras and ask your child, is that who bullied you, is that who hurt you? Just turn on the cameras, because they should be allowed to show that. They don't have to go to the extent of going through what happened, saying, "Oh, this person did it. This person did it." So you don't have to feel it. So, because they don't want you to go at that student personally for doing something, just go through cameras if they let you, because some schools won't let you do that for some reason.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, so going forward, we're gonna move. We're gonna move forward. Has there ever been a time when your parent has come up to the school or even emailed the school trying to advocate for you?
Yes.
You can just speak on how has that made you feel, and did it help in any of your situations?
Um. So there's this science teacher at my school. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not gonna say the school either. But yeah, there's this science teacher that is at my school, and they like they like to like to go at certain students for some things, or they're either just like mad for some reason. I don't know why. There's just one day where it's supposed to be like a movie day during science class, but then um, so they decided to like put this program on not a program, but this system on the whiteboard behind the in front of the classroom, saying that whoever like if you do something bad in the during class, you'll get a strike, and if you get 3 strikes, then you're probably gonna lose your recess. And so like 11 students ended up with their name on the board. Some people with like 1 strike, other people with two, and like 2.5 strikes. And unfortunately, one of those students with the 2.5 was me. Because first time, I asked my teacher, "What's the work supposed to be?" And they said, no talking without raising your hand. That's a strike." Um, and then we was taking attendance. Uh, my teacher called my friend's name, and he said some random internet trend. That's his name, and I said, "Stop using actual name, bro, bozo." And then I got another strike for saying that. And then this other time, um, no, then the when I got the half strike is when my other friend also put an internet trend as his name. I say, so I kind of said louder, "Stop using internet trends as your name." And then that's when she gave me, when they gave me another strike, but they lowered it down to a half strike. Still want to be generous.
So what advocating was done on your behalf?
Well, I told her that what happened in class to other people and to me, and and see that's not the first time something that has happened with my teacher. So I emailed her during class.
Why you calling me her?
Because I'm not gonna say my mom like her not on the camera.
Okay.
Okay, so I emailed her in class during class about what happened during school, and then I told her about like the other things that happened at school before that. And so she decided to talk to that teacher, email that teacher because because I wasn't the only student that complained about that certain teacher. Other students, like 20 other students that are in their class, they also complained about that teacher doing stuff and handling stuff not that well. And they also tried to get that teacher fired.
Who did?
The other students that complained. They complained to the principal, and they even wrote down an entire list about why they want this teacher gone, why this teacher should be fired.
So how does that make you feel? The advocating, me sending that email.
I feel like people have my back sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
I know
when not.
I know my parents will have my back, but other people that might have the same issues as me, not so much.
You said not the teachers?
I said other students.
Oh, okay. So if you had one simple message that you would like to give to parents on the proper way to advocate, what would that be?
Hmm. Uh, it's not like, it's like a one word message. Circumstance.
Circumstance?
Yeah.
Well, you definitely would have to explain that.
Always do stuff accordingly based on what the situation is. If it's some, if it's a super serious situation, then you have to treat it super seriously. Ask super serious questions. Um, and come at administration peacefully, but with maximum feelings. But if it's something not that serious, then don't treat it like it's super serious, because one because the situation could be like someone stealing a bag of chips, and it's asking, so why did you steal a bag of chips? Like, stealing a bag of chips should not be that serious. While someone like getting um beat up and then sent to the hospital at school, then that's something that you want to treat super seriously. Because parents sometimes they want, even if something is super little, they want to treat their children with a bunch. They want to bring up all these expectations. They want to put super unfair punishments on them just because of this one little thing. And that, and some stuff that happens at school that could be like the last straw for some kids, where their parents would just absolutely freak out over something like that, something super little.
So it's the last straw for the kid, but according to who?
According to the parent,
Mm.
because like I said, some parents treat little things with so much uh so much feeling and weight on it.
Mm. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me for this conversation. I hope you all got something out of this. I'm going to wrap this up with him, and in the meantime, I'm going to continue on with a monologue because as I told you all that my oldest was going to join, so I'm just going to monologue it during this time. You can tell your brother that he can come on. All right, so that's the oldest. I mean, the baby boy. Baby boy is out. You can go get your brother. Oh, come on now. All right, and so I hope that you all got some good information out of that. I think it was a very poignant, very good point that he made about ensuring that we check on them first, because I'm certain that a lot of us don't do that. Like, we get straight to it of asking, why were you fighting, or just tell me about the story, what happened, and we don't take the time to stop and say, well, first of all, are you okay? As I know, like, that was something that I wasn't doing, and as he said, that reminded me, like, that was a key difference between me and Dad checking in on the situations of what happened. Dad was like, well, first of all, let me ask you, are you okay? So that's also a very, very good balance too with having a two-parent household. So yeah, make sure, for those of you who don't have two-parent households, or even when you're co-parenting and it's two different households, that very good point he made, to make sure that you ask your child how they are doing. All right, so my oldest son is here. One key reason, first of all, I already started this series, right, of making sure that you advocate for your child in a good in a good, proper way, and not being all hood with it. So I mentioned that I am responding to a video that my son made. And I am definitely going to post the link to that. He was being very vulnerable in that video. So I want y'all, no, you're gonna come closer. So I want to make sure that you all click on that video. But before we get to your video, I want you to first keep on trend and start with responding to or staying on trend with my series, the proper way for parents to advocate for their children in schools while yet holding the schools accountable for their actions.
I don't even have an answer.
So just real quick, has there ever been a time where your parent has advocated for you in school, and how did you feel about that? Just real simple and on that.
Right. All right. That's the answer.
Yeah, that's real simple.
Well, I mean, sometimes, depending the way, the method you went about it would negatively reflect.
Okay, so obviously, yes, there was a time.
And negatively reflect me. So the
Mhm.
teachers would treat me different. Students would treat me different because their parents found out about it. So
You're so far. Come on.
yes, certain times.
Mhm. And so, parents, as I have also stated, right, that like I'm trying to ensure that I parent differently. So from the oldest child, there's a lot that I learned. He said it was a negative influence, right? So I know the way I was handling things with the first child from out of the mouth of the babe. Okay, you said because children found out and parents started, the teacher started teaching you, treating you differently.
Yeah, all whole squad.
Mm-hmm. All right, continue.
And that's really it. But other times it will work. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think is the best way for parents to come and advocate?
I don't even know. It really depends on the situation and the people that they're trusting.
Okay.
That's true. I don't even know how I would with my kids.
All right. So, share with the people who are new to my channel, like you're not a baby anymore. So, where are you in your education or in life? Where are you now?
I'm a senior in college. I got a couple months left. 5, I believe. Yeah, 5. And you said what else?
No, that's it. Yeah. Senior in college, yo. So, all right. And so you recently made a video in which you were being quite vulnerable on lessons that you have learned. Mm-hmm. And there were some situations that happened to you. So just briefly.
Basically, my coach was treating me like Shadur Sanders. Now, I'm not Shadur Sanders or anything, but he would not give me the time to play on that field when I would perform well in practice, perform well in the games that I would play. It would put me in college. They put me on the second team in college as a junior, as a senior, as a sophomore, and I still balled out. I'd score every game or assists and stuff, and I'd go in the office and be like, "Yo, I'm playing better than these guys. Why am I not getting at least any time of day in practice? Because you're putting me to get reps with freshmen who aren't ready yet. Whereas if someone who I'm competing with in my position gets that same more reps with the better side, the more experienced side, and you never give me that chance." And he's like, "Oh, you're doing well. You just need to be more confident." That's what the coaches say. And then he would bring me to games, or not even dress me as a senior, and bring me to the games when I did perform well. Usually, someone got injured or something in that my position, or I just clearly outplayed them, but he wouldn't play me, and or would like tell people beforehand that he was not going to play any senior this game, and there's no seniors on the roster except me for this game, because each week you have to make the roster to play, the traveling roster or the dressing roster. And I made one time, and no senior made it because they're resting for it. We have a bigger game. And beforehand, he told players that he wasn't going to play any senior, and I was the only senior traveling. It's negative degrees outside. I did not play, and I found out halfway through that I wasn't going to play. And I lost. I took all my stuff off on the bench, got dressed, and I told the coach, like, the assistant coach, I'm done. So,
but when was this? When did
that
you
was
do
the
that?
end. That was like the last 2 games of the season. I held on being professional 4 years. I had a coach before that for 2 years, and I got this new coach. Just thought things were going to be different, but it just got worse.
Mm-hmm. And so, prior to that, so for anybody that's watching that want to say something crazy in the comments, prior to that, like, what were you doing? How were you handling yourself? And what were your parents telling you
Be
to
professional. So I would train, try to perform my hardest. I would talk to the coach, never complained on the bench, never show that I was mad or anything. Stay professional, help guys out on and off the field, being that supporting voice. But, it comes to a time where, bro, it's my turn. And I would try to stay down. Your chance will come, your chance will come. And then it just never came.
Okay. And so, the series is advocating for your child while holding the schools accountable. So, did your parents ever try to advocate for you throughout these 4 years, or make sure you held yourself accountable? Because now we're talking about college. We're not talking about elementary, high school.
I was told what I needed to do. Make sure that I'm doing my part, so you can't like scapegoat me or be like, well, this is why I'm not playing you. So I have to make sure I was doing everything right on and off the field, grades, teacher recommendations, performance on the field, make sure my touch was good. There were times for sure that my quality was trash because I was in my head because of what was happening to me. Like for a week consecutive, I'd be put on a third string team and no one's trying. So then it just drops my quality as well after performing for so long. You can only get so much out of it. But most of the time, like 93% of the time, I was up here and I could compete. And it got to the point where even my teammates were advocating for me, telling the coach, hey, you got to play him, because he's playing well and we need him. And still, but I don't think, maybe my dad had sent one email, or no, I don't think he did anything. I think he talked in person to my second coach, TLee. But other than that, nah, we try to stay professional. And I look like the kid that's complaining and not getting a chance. So I guess his parents call, because other people would do that at the school, having their parents call up every time their kid isn't playing one game.
Mm-hmm.
Out of like 5,000 possible minutes at the school, I played under 100 in my 4 years of college.
Yeah.
Out of 80 or 90 possible games in my college career, I played 8. And I played 8 and under 100 minutes in total. You can see how it will win, and like I'm not trash or anything. Like, bro, my first year, yeah, I was really underweight and I had no confidence. But the next 3 years, bro, I got over that and I improved a lot. Mistakes didn't mean nothing to me. I just go on to the next. And so, not much more. The more I think about it, though, I get upset. So I try to.
Right. So we're bringing it back to parents advocating, right? Why do you even know all these minutes? Why, like, because I know somebody might try to say something crazy in the comments, and so this is not my professional channel, because I told him to calculate that because I sent an email.
I've been new money.
He knew them, but in order for me to step in and send an email, because now I have had to hold my tongue for a very long time, I needed the data.
Yeah, and on top of that, just for some context, for if anyone will say anything crazy, I was told every year beforehand that I was looking to start for this position, especially in the spring season, because soccer is in the fall for college, and then you do like spring season, which is just training and like friendlies. I was told every single time that I'm performing well and I'm fighting for that spot, and when you have to do this and you have to do that, and so I was doing that, and I'd be told that, and then I come in, and then my position would change. I would be told I'm going to be playing for left wing back. I'm competing for left wing back, and there's only one player there, and he's probably not going to even play that position. Then I get 5 people put in that position, and I get moved to another position. I make roster first game, and I'm told I'm going to play a lot. I come that game, if people are going to get chances. I don't play for like the last 15 minutes, and I play a position that I do not play, and then I was dropped from the roster for a month after that. So, yeah.
As I have said in other videos, you can be upset. And you see, he has the same passion that I have, that y'all may have seen in other videos. So in order to make sure that I maintain my composure, I needed the data. Because otherwise, as he talked about in the past, I'm going to be very emotional, and I'm going to lose all of the information and genuine fight that I have. But you cannot argue with the data. The data of how many minutes has he played over the 4 years that he was there? What position has he been playing versus the position that he came in as? Yes, we understand college is not high school and middle school. We understand all that. But those of you who have been following my channel for quite some time, y'all know that both of my older sons, they have played over in Europe. They have been playing for quite some time. This one has created his own, put on his own soccer tournament and all of that. Like, he knows what he's been doing. He has been a team captain, for two years at his high school and all of that. Not to say that other people haven't.
School as well, and
so
Europe.
You gotta have the data when you try to come and advocate for your children. All right, now this is made mostly for Black people, my channel. The fact that there were only 2 African-American children playing at this college on this soccer team, I need that data as well.
On the soccer team, no.
What'd I say?
It said at the school on the soccer team, no. There were other African-Americans at the school. There was just 2 on the team.
Yeah.
We had other nationalities on my team as well. Especially my sophomore year, it was majority. We had Africans and Caribbeans. That was the team. It was crazy, and we had African coach as well, so I felt more represented. But then it started to wane out.
But they're not African Americans. They're not Black. So the fact that my son and another okay, y'all look, see, this is why I gotta have. That's why I gotta write the emails and have it in black and white.
They're not African Americans. They are of the African diaspora by means of African diaspora, when they're not born in the United States through lineage. There was a couple who were actually born in the U.S. from Uganda and stuff, but they their parents were born, they're first-gen immigrants.
Yeah, and so they to be representing the DMV and to be traveling up to where they are, and to know UDC natives, y'all know all of the benefits that we have here, and to lose all those benefits and to risk all of that to be traveling out of state, the data that we have was not really worth it for him to only have like 4 hours.
What?
Whatever the data is, your playing time.
4 hours of playing time?
What was it?
I wish, bruh.
2 hours?
Not even.
Yeah. See. So the data, and then I had sent an email, and I spoke with the president of the school and the athletic director. And that was how I ended up advocating on the behalf of my senior college student, which yielded the same results that it usually yields when you are speaking to the Caucasian race that is in high power. And so I was talking in my field as a social worker, trying to not only advocate on his behalf, although the season was over, but also for those who are coming behind him, and to educate them on maybe what they could have been blind. They could have been blind about what was happening, what were the results, and how it made people feel. So how do you feel? Did you feel that advocacy was any different than your middle school and, back in the past?
I mean, I've already said my not public, but I told them I don't want to have this advocation based off of race.
I didn't say that. I said, do you feel that it was any different?
Yeah, it was different because your email was more so on. First off, they did a wellness check because the way she structured the email, they did a wellness check on me. and make sure that I wasn't trying to like kill myself or something. I don't know if I can even say that. Unalive myself on, and then I saw the email and it was more so racial based, and so I didn't want the school to feel like I'm playing black kids playing the race card. I wanted us to hit it in a different way.
I want to add right here, it's about execution. So while my husband has spoken about wellness checks and things like that you heard from my younger son, and I attempted to do this thing, right? I added this to the email. And as you heard my older son say, the way that I worded things caused a reaction that it was not one that we wanted. And so think about when someone advises you to do a certain thing. How do you execute on that thing? What action or reaction do your actions cause when you execute upon a thing? We also cannot be upset or disappointed in the results that it yields, or try to blame the person who gave us said advice because it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to, or the way that they said that it would. It is always about our execution. So take that into account as well when you are trying to advocate for other people. That if you don't execute the advice correctly, you can't take it out on other people. So, what did my youngest son just say? He said, first check and make sure that your child is okay. So, I said that's not something that normally I do. So, I put that in the email because that was something that my husband had brought up, that the school had not even checked on my son. That not only were they not playing him, they wasn't doing all this stuff, but no one even actually checked on him to make sure that he was okay, both mentally and physically, because he has suffered concussions and leg injuries and all of this, and no one has checked on him. So, evidence, that's not even something that I would even ask. Even being a social worker and therapist, those are not questions that I would ask. And so, yeah. Okay, go ahead, continue.
The mental health thing and the hospital at the school. I'm very upset about how everything went. And I told the coach that the assistant coach, I felt really comfortable talking to him and he understood. And things he told me made me realize, yeah, he's a good guy. I don't want to, the stuff we talked about. So I put my trust in him, and so I was very upset. But I never, the questions they was asking me, I never thought about any of that. Like it's prompted people to also start sending stuff out and make a change and really start evaluating. So I was able to tell the athletic director myself what was happening behind the scenes and whatnot. And like, okay, and so other students started to as well do the same thing through the rate my coach and rate my season, how it went. Yeah.
Okay. And so when we started, you said you didn't really know what would be the best way to advocate for parents to advocate. Is that still your answer right now?
Yeah, well, that's something I guess you learn once it. I don't even know.
Through your experiences. Because even right now, sometimes what you're saying.
Sometimes I feel like a loose cannon. I feel like that'd be like the best option, but then I sit back and think of the repercussion. But Kevin Samuel say a loose cannon and just fly out and start crashing out. But that's obviously not the best. But sometimes I feel like that's the best in the heat of the moment. And then I don't have kids. This is just based off of me. So once I have kids, I still probably wouldn't know what to do until I'm in the moment experiencing. But I feel like what they did, you guys did, you and Daddy did, it was probably the best way to do it.
I think even right now, in the moment, that no matter what you do, you have to still think about the long term. It's kind of short, but still long term consequences. Especially whether you got one child or multiple, because even your response of thinking about what I just said, I'm not thinking about the consequences of what I said, but you are.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that has been talked about before. So, parents, it goes to a different conversation also that has been said. When we, and he said this in a different way today, when we think about what is disrespectful, particularly mothers and sons, your sons can see things that you don't see about yourself. So, because you're thinking about right now and you're not thinking about the future and the effects of your behavior, you think that them trying to stop your actions and your behaviors and your statements is disrespectful, but they're thinking about the long-term effects. That's not disrespect. That's I can't even, self-preservation, self and family preservation. So we have to think about that, and we have to, if we really want to parent differently, if we want to make changes, we have to take a moment to pause and hear what our children are saying to us. That's also how you can advocate for your child. Is, as my first son said, you got to listen to the story, listen to it all the way through, although you might want to be angry and just come up there and do your thing or whatever, be a loose cannon. You have to still take into account how your actions are going to affect them later on. You might feel good about what you're doing, but that might affect them. So yeah, that wrapped around very, very good. From the firstborn to the last son. My daughter hasn't yet wanted to join, but from the first son to the third son, I think we have our marching orders on how to advocate for our children. It's not all about what we want to do and what makes us feel good, but we also need to think about them and how it affects them. So with that, this has been another RealRam video, and I'm out.
What do you call them?
I can't do this anymore. Left my past all on the floor. I've been trying to keep it moving. Now we going north, going up 2, 3, up 2, 3. Got this joy inside of me.